Good afternoon, students. Today I am going to discuss the poem The Conch, written by Rabindranath Tagore. This poem is included in your DSC 1B syllabus, and this lecture is primarily meant for semester 4 students of BA program course. Now, this particular poem, The Conch, in Bengali it is Shankho, belongs to Tagore's 1916 collection of the Kabbogranth Bolaka. Right? And before going to the poem, if we just focus on the title of the poem, which is the Conch or Shankho, it gently reminds us of the famous Conch, Panchajanna. You all know that Panchajanna is the name of Lord Krishna's conch, which he used in Mahabharata. Now, if one goes through the story of Mahabharata, or if one just deliberates on the life and teachings of Sri Krishna, then he or she can understand, can realize that the entire life and principles and teachings of Sri Krishna is nothing but promoting an individual, promoting human beings to do work or karma. এই গোটা জীবন ধরে নিরন্তর কর্ম করার শিক্ষা আমরা পাই. We get this teachings, this idea from Mahabharata or from the doctrines of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So in its essence, the call of Panchajanna, what actually Sri Krishna teaches to Arjuna before the starting of the battle of Mahabharata, that you do your own work. Any human being comes to this earth, any man is born in this earth to do his or her own work. In our childhood or during our infancy, we have a set of work. We study in the schools, we go to schools, colleges, we learn, we gather knowledge. So that is a particular work for a particular phase of life. When we grow up, when we become adult, we take up a job or a business or similar enterprise. So that is another work for a particular phase in the life. When we grew older, right? When we become old, in the later phase of our life, we take care of our grandchildren, we give advice to our subordinates or juniors, and we just nourish or it comes as a reminiscence of the life that we have left behind. So it is another set of work, another code for the last phase of our life. So if we go through, so in each of these phases we have a particular set of works that need to be done, that needs to be completed. This is human life, a set of work, and this is what this philosophy is quite projected by Rabindranath Tagore in this poem. And we all know that Rabindranath Tagore was hugely influenced by the doctrines of Bhagavad Gita, by the teachings and principles of Upanishads and Vedas, and that is why his poetic persona has imbibed those ideologies, those ideals and moral principles of ancient Indian scriptures. Now, at first I shall go through this poem, and I shall discuss the poem in both Bengali and the English version, because I think it will be convenient for you to gather a bit of the knowledge. And after giving a brief description of the poem, I shall give the critical commentaries. The poem starts like this. Let me first introduce the Bengali. তোমার শঙ্খ ধুলায় পড়ে কেমন করে শৈব, বাতাস আলো গেল মোরে, একই রে দুর্দৈব। লড়বি কেরাই ধ্বজা বেয়ে, গান আছে যার ওঠনা গে, চলবি যারা চল রেধে, আইনারে নিঃশঙ্ক, ধুলোই পরে রইল চে, ওই যে অভয় শঙ্খ। The English goes like this. How can we bear to see your conch lying there in the dirt? The tragedy of it cuts off air and blocks out light. Warriors, rise, brandish your banners, singers, get up and sing. Doers charge into action, do not falter. How can we let your inspiring conch stare up at us from the dirt? So you can find similarities between this epic battle of Kurukshetra and what Tagore is doing. So doing one's own work. Warriors rise, brandish your banners. The poet is giving a clarion call. Singers get up and sing, because it is the task of the singers to sing. Doers charge into action. So we must do our work that has been ascribed to us. গান আছে ওঠনা গেয়ে চলবি যারা চল রেধে আইনারে নিঃসঙ্গ. So we should be dauntless. We should not have any fear in our mind to involve to get involved in this huge repertoire of action, right? In the second stanza we can see that চলেছিলাম পূজার ঘরে সাজিয়ে ফুলের অর্ঘ্য খুঁজি সারা দিনের পরে কোথায় শান্তি স্বর্গ এবার আমার হৃদয় ক্ষত ভেবেছিলাম হবে গত ধুয়ে মলিন চিহ্ন যত হবে নিষ্কলঙ্ক পথে দেখি ধুলায় নত তোমার মহাশঙ্খ. In the last stanza, in the first stanza it was Abhay Shankho. Now in the second stanza we get that it is Mahashankho. So there is always a prefix attached to the word conch. I came to the prayer room with an offering of flowers neatly laid out, longing to end my long day's labors with heavenly quiet. I thought this time my heart's lacerations would heal. I thought my absolutions would purge me till I saw the degradation of your great conch lying on the path, lying in the dirt. Now, it is very noteworthy to know that Tagore wrote this poem when he was around the age of 55. Before that, his wife had left him at a very tender age. His young son, who was very close to his heart, Shumindra, his son died. Two of his children also died. His father had also left him. So, by that age, when he had just passed the middle age, and he was gradually moving towards what in Bengali we call Bardhokyo, when he is becoming old, at the age of 55 or 56, many of his dear ones have already left him. They have died. So the poet by this time had felt immense pain, torment and anguish in his heart. So as if he thinks that he has got rid of all the earthly attachments, all the mundane restraints of the worldly pleasures. He is dying to leave this world of pleasures, physical pleasures, and he is eagerly waiting to meet the divine, to meet the infinite, the God, right? The supreme being of the Upanishad. That is why he is saying, ভেবে এবার আমার হৃদয় ক্ষত, all the pains, all the torments in his heart, all the wounds, the lacerations which he quotes in the poem, ভেবেছিলাম হবে গত. Now I will get rid of all these troubles, all these afflictions of human life. ধুয়ে মলিন চিহ্ন যত হব নিষ্কলঙ্ক, would purge me till I saw the degradation. But however, the things seem to be quite different. The third stanza starts like this. আরতিদীপ এই কি জ্বালা, এই কি আমার সন্ধ্যা, গাঁথা রক্ত জবার মালা, হায় রজনীগন্ধা। ভেবেছিলেম যোঝাযুঝি মিটিয়ে পাবো বিরাম খুঁজি, চুকিয়ে দিয়ে ঋণের পুঁজি, লব তোমার অঙ্ক, হেনকালে ডাকলো বুঝি নীরব তব শঙ্খ। What am I doing with this prayer lamp? What do I mean by this prayer? Must I drop my flowers of peace with scarlet garlands of war? I hoped for calm to end my struggles. I thought my debts had been paid. My battles won, now I could thankfully settle in your lap. But suddenly your mute conch seemed to sound in my ear. So in third phase of his life, when Tagore has just passed the middle age, in Bengali we call Prog. In the tertiary phase of life, he was about to leave all the attachments. He wanted to leave all those restrictions, the bindings behind him, and he was eagerly waiting to go into the God's lab. So he was desperately in search of what he had called as mukti or liberation. He was wanting that his soul would be liberated. He was in search of mukti or liberation, but suddenly হেনকালে ডাকলো বুঝি নীরব তব সঙ্গ. The conch which was mute seemed to sound loud. Why is this happening? So after many pains and sufferings and torments, he was seeking a liberation. He was seeking peace. মিটিয়ে পাবো বিরাম খুঁজি, বিরাম খুঁজতে চাইছেন, শান্তি খুঁজতে চাইছেন. But he did not know that his entire life would be a life of tremendous, rigorous works and actions. যৌবনেরই পরশমণি করাও তব স্পর্শ, দীপক তামে উঠুক ধ্বনি, দীপ্ত প্রাণের হর্ষ. নিশার বক্ষ বিদায় করে উদ্বোধনে গগন ভরে, অন্ধ দিকে দিগন্তরে জাগাও না আতঙ্ক, দুই হাতে আজ তুলব ধরে তোমার জয়শঙ্খ. Oh, change me. Now he is saying to change him, to transform him. Not only transforming or metamorphosis his body, his physical body, but transformation of his ideas. Right? Oh, change me, touch me with youth, alchemize me. Let fiery melody blaze and twirl in my breast. Live fire deep into ecstasy. Let night's ribs crack. Let skies as they fill with dawning enlightenment raise terror in remotest dark. From today I shall fight to seize and carry aloft your conch of victory. Now the poet has realized the true meaning of human life, what he ought to do in this mortal life. His life, the main objective of his life is not to seek deliberation, is not to in search of liberation, not only liberate himself, but to devote his body, to devote his spirit in the upliftment of humanity. What previously Swami Vivekananda had called জীব সেবাই হলো ধর্ম. For the greater truth, for the greater advancement of humanity at large, one must dedicate his entire life. মানুষের উন্নতির জন্য নিজেকে নিয়োজিত করতে হবে. That was the Upanishadic teaching. শুধুমাত্র নিজের মুক্তি না, গোটা জগতের মুক্তি. So not only one individual liberation, but the greater upliftment, the greater development of humanity, of human spirit and consciousness and psyche. Rabindranath, in another poem, you all know, he had written, বৈরাগ্য সাধনে মুক্তি সে আমার নয়. Right? So I shall not seek an ascetic life for my own personal liberation, to free my own spirit, but I shall dedicate my entire life, my entire knowledge, for the sake of all the human beings living in this planet. That should be the ideal way of perceiving human existence. জানি জানি তন্দ্রা সম রইবে না আর চক্ষে, জানি শ্রাবণ ধারার সম বান বাজিয়ে বক্ষে, কেউ বা ছুটে আসবে পাশে, কাঁদবে বা কেউ দীর্ঘশ্বাসে, দুঃস্বপ্নে কাঁপবে ত্রাসে সুক্তির পূর্জঙ্গ, বাজবে যে আজ মহল্লসে তোমার মহাশঙ্খ. The English translation is like this. Now I know I can no more close my eyes to slumber. Now I know the monsoon showers of arrows must batter my heart. Some people will rush to my side, others will weep and sigh in dread. Horrifying nightmares will rock the beds of sleeping hearers, but today your conch will joyously thunder. So he is saying that I know, by treading this way of life, many more pains and sufferings and torments will come across my way. I know a greater dark, dense, gloomy future is waiting for me. I know there are lots of more and more impediments eagerly waiting in my path. So this path is not a very easy one. It includes hurdles and impediments, but I am ready to go across my own way, the way of doing or performing action, karma, for the sake of human beings. তোমার কাছে আরাম চেয়ে পেলেম শুধু লজ্জা, very significant line in the last stanza of this poem. এবার সকল অঙ্গ ছেয়ে পড়াও রণসজ্জা, ব্যাঘাত আসুক নব নব, আঘাত খেয়ে অটল রব, বক্ষে আমার দুঃখে তব বাজবে জয়ডঙ্ক, দেব সকল শক্তি লব অভয় তব শঙ্খ. When I look to you for rest, I received nothing but shame. But dress me for battle now, let armor cover each limb. Let new obstructions chafe and challenge me. I shall take all blows and horse unflinchingly. My heart shall drum redress for your injuries. I shall give all my strength, win back your conch and make it boom. So in the last stanza, the poem sort of is concluding or giving a brief hint, concluding the entire philosophy that he said in the previous part of the poem. So the poet confesses that he sought rest, তোমার কাছে আরাম চেয়ে, but the divine, but the God, the infinite, gave him shame. So now he is ashamed of his former behavior. He is now ashamed of what he had eagerly waited for. And because he is quite ashamed, he is shameful, he is now, at present, he is seeking armor and he is preparing for battle. Because if we just ponder, if we just look minutely, if we just consider, then it is very obvious that our human life is nothing but a period of entire struggle. We struggle in each and every moment of our life to live. We have grown up in intense competition. Students, you are now studying, but at the end of your course there is an exam. You have to pass each and every exam of your life in order to qualify. You have already qualified, you have already passed the examination that you have come across in the school, right? Now you are in the colleges. After that you will be going to university, or you will be preparing for government jobs and services. So in each and every phase of our life there is an exam, and if we can pass, if we can qualify in all of these exams, in all of these examinations, then our life will be a life of prosperity. So in each and every stage of our life we are faced with a challenge, but the poet is saying that he is ready to face all the challenges of life. He is ready to fight because he is a warrior, a stalwart, right? He is like a stallion who is dauntless, who is not afraid to face the hurdles that may come across his way. And at last he is saying, বক্ষে আমার দুঃখে তব বাজবে জয়ডঙ্ক. So again a reiteration of what he had said in the previous stanza, that I know I will feel more pain, more affliction is waiting for me, but I am ready to accept all what he will give to me. So in return for this rigorous work, in return of this dedicated service, what an individual gets, what a human being gets, is tremendous affliction, pain and sufferings. That is life. There is actually no joy in life. But in what way this joy comes? This joy comes through selfless dedication to work for the upliftment, for the development of humanity at large. Now, according to William Radice, a notable Tagore expert, he is saying that this poem is a call to a self, a people, or even a world that have ignored Krishna's words, has led this Conch, the symbol of the ideal of fight, since heroes in Indian epic rally their troops by blowing conches, lie neglected in the dust. So, if we go through the Mahabharata, if we go through the epic, then you will see that the entire Krishna's life was actually a life of rigorous work, rigorous actions. Krishna did not Krishna failed to defend his own kingdom. He fled to Dwaraka in fear of Conch, right? But he helped Pandava to win in their own battle. Now I shall also refer to Prabhat Kumar Mukhopadhyay, who was the noted poet's biographer. He is saying that this poem was written from the sense of uncanny trepidation in the poet's mind about his sense of remorse for not having performed any duty towards the greater humanity. That is what is his shame in the what which he writes in the last stanza. Now, in I mean, the poet P.B. Shelley, in his famous poem Ode to the West Wind, he has written a beautiful line, "Make me thy lyre," which Tagore has translated, Tagore has rendered as "Amare koro tomaro bina." So, in almost Salian spirit, "Make me thy lyre," the poet strikes a personal note as he prays to God for restoration of his youth and attainment of a fiery energy so that he can dedicate himself for the war, and the dawning enlightenment will raise tremor in the remotest dark. So one can sense the sense of duty has dawned in the mind of the poem. He can slumber no more. Now, to conclude my lecture, we can say that the poet's determination is to restore the fallen state of the conch, where the conch is a metaphor of action. In Gita, what you have got, karmanya vadikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. So do work, perform your own action without expecting the result. That is the fruitless action. And this fruitless action, every human being must be involved. And that is why Tagore is saying in the last line of the poem, "I shall give all my strength, win back your conch and make it boom." And in fact, a longing for serenity and longing for action are equal impulses in Tagore, in keeping with the teachings of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, also the Upanishads, and a reconcilement between these two principles. Thank you.